Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to understand how to identify the set number, how to identify the condition number, and how to identify the leg number of a particular set or a repair once or the repair continuous section. Because many a times when we create a strategy, there are two keywords, primarily traded instrument and net quantity, in which or even the instrument name or traded instrument name, under which you have to identify the leg number, set number, and condition number. So how to identify is what we're going to discuss in this video in detail. So for that, I've created a simple strategy. So we will discuss this in detail in order to identify that. But before that, what we will do is we will first of all simply go to Google. We will search qna.tradetron.tech. So on this blog, on this forum that we have over here, in the search option you can simply search for traded instrument and net quantity, and you will find one blog that is basically a forum that we have created, in which there are various examples on the keyword traded instrument as well as net quantity. So for that, in this the very first section of this particular forum, over here you will find an image. So this is what we will discuss today. So over here, this image gives a clear explanation. So for example, how to identify set number, condition if entry or repair, and leg number if it is 1 or 2, while referencing for traded instrument or traded instrument name keywords. So as you can see over here, the set number 1, this is the set number 1 entry condition. As it is mentioned over here, this is set number 1 entry. In front of the entry condition, when we add the positions, it will basically be the set number 1 entry condition, the first leg, the first instrument that you will put over here. In this case, this is the call option of ATM Bank Nifty call option. So in this case, the call option is the leg number 1. All right, and this put option is basically the leg number 2. Alright, so whichever is the first instrument will be your leg number 1, whichever is the second instrument will be leg number 2. After that, if there is an instrument that you add, you can add any number of positions, right? So if you add more, that will be leg number 3, leg number 4, etc. But the condition will not change in this case, because the condition, this is basically the entry, leg number 1, condition number 1, and leg number 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Alright, so similarly, in repair ones, this is basically when you add a simple repair, this will be basically set number 1, repair condition number 1, all right, and whatever you put over here will be leg number 1 of that repair ones, all right. So set number 1, repair ones, leg number 1, and this is condition number 1 also. And similarly, when you add an additional repair, so the condition number that is there, it will only change when there is a repair once condition or a repair continuous condition. It will not change for entry condition. Alright. So condition will be added only for repair once or repair continuous, because there are multiple repair once and multiple repair continuous that you can add. But entry will always be just one. Right. So in similarly, if you add just one repair, it will be set number 1, repair once, condition number 1. And over here when you put a leg, it will be leg number 1 and so on. Similarly, when you add extra repair, this is the repair ones number 2, right? This is repair ones number 1, this is repair ones number 2. So this will be set number 1, repair ones condition number 2, all right? Set number 1, condition number 2 in repair ones, and this will be leg number 1, all right, for the second repair. So we will see this by example. So in this case, this is the set number 1 that we have. Over here, the 30,000 call option is the leg number 1. All right. Now, 34,000 put option, this is leg number 2. And 27,000 call option, this is leg number 3. So now, for example, in this repair, if I want to check whether this particular leg has been traded, then what I will do is, I will open this repair one's first condition. If I want to just put, say, traded instrument keyword, right? So traded instrument, in that if I want to check whether the 30,000 call option has been traded, then in that case that is leg number 1, right? So what we will do over here is we will put that condition traded instrument. Now it will ask us for the particular parameter. So I will say entry strike. This is the entry. I have not selected repair once because we are checking the entry. Alright, so entry over here, Nifty suppose bank, and we are checking set number 1, condition number 1, because entry will in any case be just 1, right? So it will be always 1, and leg number 1. So that is basically the reference for set number 1, leg number 1, condition number 1 is basically the reference for that particular call option, that is 30,000. Similarly, if I want to check whether the second leg, that is 34,000 put has been traded of Nifty Bank, I will simply reference this particular 1 to leg number 2, because that is leg number 2 in this case. Alright, and if instead of this put option, if I want to check whether this call option has been traded or not, then in that case what I will do is I will reference the traded instrument leg number 2, leg number 3. Alright, so that is how we select basically the call option or a put option that has been traded in entry, and which leg and which condition they belong to. Similarly, there is one more keyword, right? So suppose LTP traded instrument name, right? So this is where we have to reference again through by using leg number 1, condition number 1, etc. So entry instrument, suppose Nifty Bank. And similarly, if I want to check if the third leg has been traded, then in that case what I will do is I will check entry condition set number 1, condition number 1, and leg number 3. All right, so this will be basically referencing the same leg number, that is leg number 3. So that is how we reference in case of entry. Now we have moved on to repair once condition, right? So for example, this is the repair once condition, leg number 1 and leg number 2. Now if you want to, this is the first repair and this is the second repair, right? So in this case, if I want to trigger this second repair, set number 1 R2, S1 R2 is basically set number 1, repair once condition number 2. Repair S1 R1 is basically set number 1, repair once condition number 1. All right, so in this case, if I want to trigger repair once set repair once number 2 of set number 1, then what I will do is by only after checking whether this particular repair once the first condition has been triggered or not. Then in that case, for example, if you are using traded instrument keyword in repair once condition number 2, then what I will do is I will say select traded instrument. Over here, instead of entry, what I will do is I will select repair once, because I want to check whether the repair once has been triggered of the set number 1 or not. So that will be basically strike. Again, I will choose say Nifty Bank, and this will be set number 1. Again, condition number in this case will be condition number 1, because we are referring to repair once condition number 1. All right, and then we are referring to leg number 1 of that particular condition, first repair, right? So in this case, we are referring to traded instrument repair once of set number 1, leg number 1, and condition number 1, right? So here we are checking whether this 39,500 call option has been traded or not. All right, through this 111. If I want to check whether the 36,000 put option has been traded or not, that is set number 1, repair once condition number 1, and leg number 2. And in that case, what I will do is I will simply change this to traded instrument repair once leg number 2. All right, I hope this much is clear as of now. Now we will move on to particular set number 1, repair once condition number 2. So now this is set number 1, repair once condition number 1, and repair once condition number 2. Now if I want to check whether this 40,000 call option, that is repair once condition number 2, all right, has been triggered or not, and then only exit, suppose, right? So what I will do is in traded instrument keyword in exit, if I want to check whether this 40,000 call option that is there in repair once number 2 is triggered, what I will do is I will simply select traded instrument. This will be repair once, again this will be strike, again this will be underline say Nifty Bank, And here is the main difference. Now over here the set number will be 1, but this condition number, as we discussed, when it changes, when you add extra repairs, automatically the number of conditions will increase. So repair one's first one will be repair one's condition number 1. When you add extra repair ones, that will be condition repair one's condition number 2. Alright, so they are in this case the condition number 2 and then leg number 1. Alright, so that is basically our 40,000 call option, that is leg number 1 of repair one's condition number 2. Alright, so I hope this is clear. Again, I'll just open this. So this is basically traded instrument repair ones of set number 1 but condition number 2, because this is second repair. This is basically second repair. The first repair is this one. Alright, and then this is set number 1 entry. Alright, so since we are referring to this particular 40,000 call option that is triggered through repair one's condition number 2, that is the reason why while using it under traded instrument keyword, we are saying traded instrument, that is repair one's of set number 1 but repair one's condition number 2 and leg number 1. Similarly, if I want to just reference this to 39,500 put, that is the second leg of the second repair ones, then in that case what I will do is I will simply change this to traded instrument repair one's condition number 2 and leg number 2. Alright, I hope this is pretty simple. A lot of people get confused. That is the reason why we are trying to create this video. So this was one example, right? So we will check another 2 examples of repair continuous also. Right, so this was set number 1. So now we move on to set number 2. Alright, so now in set number 2, if I want to check, so this is set number 2, leg number 1, right? The Aarti Industries is basically set number 2 entry, leg number 1 is Aarti Industries. Now, for example, in this repair ones, if I want to again trigger the buy of ACC, that is the repair ones needs to be triggered only after say Aarti Industries has been traded or not. So in that case, what I will do is I will simply put traded instrument, but in this case now we are talking about entry Aarti Industries, right? Aarti Industries, set number 2, because this is set number 2, right? Condition number 1, entry is always going to be condition number 1 and leg number 1. All right, so only when this particular Aarti Industries strike has been traded, then only we will want to buy this particular ACC through repair ones. Now there is one more this thing. So earlier in the set number 1 we used repair ones in both the cases. Now in set number 2 we are trying to use one repair ones and another one is repair continuous. Now in this repair continuous, if I want to check whether this repair ones has been traded, that is set number 2 repair ones has been traded. So then in that case what I will do is, in order to buy before Alchem, I want to check that ACC has been traded. Then what I will do is I will select traded instrument entry strike ACC, right? Set number 2, condition number 1, because that is basically no, this will be basically repair ones. So this will be repair ones, set number 2, condition number 1, because this is the repair ones condition number 1 and leg number 1. All right, so basically we are checking that repair ones ACC is in repair ones condition number 1 and leg number 1 of set number 2. So that's the reason why we are checking whether this particular leg of ACC has been traded or not. And once this is traded, then only we want to buy Alchem. Now there is one more repair continuous, right? So this is the repair one's condition number 1, and then we are using repair continuous of set number 2 and R2. All right. So over here, what we will do is, over here, in order to check whether it's repair continuous or repair ones, then if you want to refer to the repair continuous instead of repair ones in the second repair, then what we will do is we want to check whether the Alchem has been traded or not. So what I will do is I will select traded instrument. In this case we will select repair continuous. But remember that this is first repair continuous, because earlier before this the repair continue, we did not use repair continuous, we used repair once. So this is the first repair continuous. Hence what we will do is, and this is for alkene, right? ALKEN, alkene, and this is the strike. So, and set number 2, condition number 1, because this is repair continuous. If this was repair once, then this would have been condition number 2. But this is repair continuous, condition number 1, and this is leg number 1 for that particular repair continuous. Alright. So this is how basically we reference it to this particular leg. That in this third repair, and basically this was repair once or condition number 1 in set number 2. This is repair continuous in set number 2, but condition number 1 of repair continuous, and this is repair continuous of set number 2 and condition number 2. Alright, so in this second repair we are checking whether the first repair continuous 2 and condition number 1 has been triggered. Alright, so if we would refer to the first leg, that is this one, ACC, then we would have reference it to repair once, set number 2, repair once, condition number 1 and leg number 1. Alright, now if you want to exit based on this second repair continuous, right, only after trading, suppose Apollo Hospitals, then in that case what we will do is we will use second repair, right, of the second set. So in this case we will use traded instrument, suppose traded, no, not this one, traded instrument, entry, strike, I will choose, no, not entry, this will be repair continuous. So repair continuous strike of I think I missed the Apollo Hospitals. Okay, let me just try that. Traded instrument, repair continuous, strike, Apollo Hospital. This is set number 2. This is condition number 2. This is the second repair continuous. So that's the reason, as I mentioned, again the condition number is only related to either repair continuous or repair once, and we have to reference it according to that. Rest is very simple. The only confusion that mostly happens is under condition number. So set number 2, condition number 2, because this is the second repair continuous in which Apollo Hospitals is there, and we are referring to leg number 1 of that particular repair continuous. Alright, so I will just update this. So again I will just explain that this is basically set number 2, repair once condition number 1. This is repair continuous condition number 1, and this is repair continuous condition number 2. So since we are checking whether Apollo Hospitals has been traded, that will be set number 2, repair continuous condition number 2. Alright, that's the reason why we used repair continuous, set number 2, condition number 2 and leg number 1. Alright, I hope this is very clear right now, and according to that you can basically design your strategies and reference to your legs to that particular strategy. So if you want, I will just revise this once again. So in this case this is basically simple. Set number 1, leg number 1, that is 30,000 call option is leg number 1, 34,000 put option is leg number 2 of entry of set number 1, and 27,000 call option is basically leg number 3 of set number 1 entry. Alright, now this is repair once number 1 of set number 1. Alright, so here we are checking in traded instrument, we are checking entry of this particular third leg, right, that is 27,000 call option. So that's the reason why we check that entry, a traded instrument entry of set number 1, leg number 1 and set number 1, condition number 1, because entry will always be condition 1, and leg number 3, because 27,000 call option is basically leg number 3. So that is the same thing that we are checking under this both legs. But now once we move to repair once condition number 2, here we are checking whether this 39,500 or 36,000 put has been traded or not. Basically 36,000 put has been traded or not is what we are checking in repair once 2 after this being traded. Repair once 1 has been traded. So in this case, that's the reason why we checked traded instrument of repair once of condition of repair once condition number 1, set number 1 and set number 1, condition number 1 and leg number 2. That is basically the put option, that is 36,000. All right. And then at the time of exit, we wanted to check that this second repair has been triggered, right? So that is basically 39,500 put, which will be basically set number 1, repair once, basically repair once set number of set number 1, repair once condition number 2. This is condition number 1, this is condition number 2, and again we are referring to the second leg. So that is basically leg number 2. So that's the reason why what we did over here was we selected traded instrument repair once of set number 1, condition number 2. This is repair once condition number 2 and leg number 2. And according to that, we similarly we did it for the repair once and repair continuous part as well. So I will upload this video and you can refer to it again for your reference. So it will be easy for you to understand how we basically reference this to particular sets and legs. All right. I hope this was useful and I hope this will be beneficial for you. Thank you.